Hello, welcome to Daily News from Ayatollah TV. Grand Ayatollah Shirazi walks barefooted to honor Ashura Day. Like the previous years and coinciding with the morning of Ashura Day, the Grand Shia Islamic jurist Ayatollah Sadiq Shirazi walked barefooted and without a cloak to honor the martyrdom of the Master of Martyrs, Imam Hussein, peace be upon him. His Eminence performed this symbolic walk accompanied by a group of clerics and seminaries. House of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi commemorates 10th of Muharram. The house of the Grand Shia jurist Ayatollah Sadiq Husseini Shirazi hosted the commemorations of the day of Ashura, which is marked on the 10th day of Muharram. Large numbers of Shia believers and lovers of AhlulBayt, peace be upon them, as well as religious scholars and activists took part in these commemorations and listened to religious lectures on the sacrifices and tragedies of Imam Hussein, peace be upon him. Eulogies were also recited in honor of the Holy AhlulBayt during these commemorations. Assembly of Mourners of Imam Hussein, peace be upon him, at the house of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi on Sunday, August 30, 2020, which coincides with the day of Ashura. The house of the Grand Shia jurist Ayatollah Shirazi hosts large numbers of Husseini mourners and lovers of AhlulBayt, peace be upon them, in Holy Kabul, Iran. In this assembly of mourners of Imam Hussein, peace be upon him, the Grand Jurist Ayatollah Shirazi delivered a lecture to highlight the significance of Husseini rituals. It is worth noting that this lecture was streamed live on Martyrdom TV web pages and other independent Shia TV networks. This lecture was delivered in Persian and it was simultaneously translated into English and Arabic. Office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi continues commemorations of Imam Hussein, peace be upon him, in Holy Karbala. The office of the Grand Shia jurist Ayatollah Shirazi in Holy Karbala commemorated the martyrdom of Imam Hussein, peace be upon him, during the first 10 days of the month of Muharram. These commemorations were attended by groups of Shia believers and lovers of AhlulBayt, peace be upon them, during which Sheikh Zuhair al-Asadi delivered a lecture to the public. Zainabiya Seminary honors first 10 days of Muharram. The Islamic Seminary of Zainabiya, affiliated to the office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in the Syrian capital, Damascus, commemorated the martyrdom anniversary of Imam Hussein, peace be upon him, during the first 10 days of Muharram. Large numbers of cultural and religious activists, as well as representatives of the Islamic jurists, took part in these commemorations. After the recitation of Ziyarat Ashura, Sheikh Fadl al-Haydari delivered a lecture to the public. Office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi honors Husseini rituals in Kabul, Afghanistan. The office of Grand Shia jurist Ayatollah Shirazi in Kabul, the capital of Afghanistan, held the Husseini rituals during the first 10 days of the month of Muharram. Religious and social figures, as well as members of the Grand Jurist Office and the public groups of Shia believers, took part in these commemorations. Imam Sadiq Center hosts Shia mourners in Denmark. Imam Sadiq Center, affiliated with the office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in Denmark, hosted large numbers of Shia believers and lovers of AhlulBayt, peace be upon them, during the first 10 days of Muharram. Sheikh al-Asadi delivered lectures to the public and reciters. Hassani University and Sayyid Mustafa Hakim chanted eulogies in honor of AhlulBayt, peace be upon them. These commemorations will continue until the 13th of Muharram. Hazrat Masoumeh Seminary hosts Husseini rituals in Kabul. Hazrat Masoumeh Seminary, affiliated with the office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in Kabul, the capital of Afghanistan, hosted groups of Shia mourners and lovers of AhlulBayt, peace be upon them, during the first 10 days of Muharram. Religious lectures and eulogies in honor of AhlulBayt, peace be upon them, are some parts of these commemorations. Khademat Al-Hojjat community honor martyrdom of Imam Hussein, peace be upon him. Khademat Al-Hojjat community, affiliated with the office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in Holy Karbala, honored the first 10 days of Muharram. The center hosted large numbers of Shia mourners to remember the martyrdom of the Master of Martyrs, Imam Hussein, peace be upon him, and Imam al-Mahdi Husseiniya in Holy Karbala. AhlulBayt Islamic Thought Center holds commemorations in Baghdad. AhlulBayt Islamic Thought Center, affiliated with the office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in Baghdad, held commemorations of the martyrdom of Imam Hussein, peace be upon him, in the first 10 days of Muharram. Clerics, seminaries, and public groups of Shia believers took part in these commemorations.